Chapter 13 of Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. It's Thursday and I'm in history class, and apparently Miss Dillinger has just asked me a question because everyone is looking at me like I owe them something. So now I'm blushing and trying to bullshit my way through it, and judging by her twisty, teacherly frown, I don't think it's going very well. I mean, when you think about it, it's a little fucked up that teachers think they get to dictate what you think about it. It's not enough if you just sit there quietly and let them teach. It's like they think they have the right to control your mind. I don't want to think about the War of 1812. I don't want to know what the hell was so impressive to a bunch of freaking sailors. What I want is to sit here and think about Blue. I think I'm starting to get a little obsessed with him. On one hand, he's so careful all the time about not giving me details about himself, and then he turns around and tells me all kinds of personal stuff, and it's the kind of stuff that I could totally use to figure out his identity if I really wanted to. And I do want to. But I also don't. And it's just totally confusing. He's confusing. Simon! Abby taps me frantically from behind. I need a pen. I hand one back to her, and she thanks me under her breath. I look around and realize that everyone is writing. Miss Dillinger has written a website address down on the board. I don't know what the heck it's for, but I guess I'll find out when I get around to looking it up. I copy the address into the margin of my notes, and then outline it in zigzags like a comic book. Pow! I'm a little hung up on Blue's parents being religious. I feel like a freaking moron, honestly, because I'm basically the most blasphemous person in the world. Like, I don't even know how to use the Lord's name in vain. Maybe it's not a big deal to him. How not to use the Lord's name in vain. But maybe it's not a big deal to him. Him being Blue, not the Lord. I mean, Blue's still emailing me, so I guess he couldn't have been too offended. Miss Dillinger gives us a break, but it's not the kind of break where you can go anywhere, so I just sit and stare into space. Abby comes over and kneels and rests her chin on my desk. Hey, where are you today? What are you talking about? You're like a million miles away. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Martin climbing over someone's chair to join us. Every time, I swear to God. What's up, guys? Haha, says Abby. Your shirt is hilarious. Martin is wearing a t-shirt that says, Talk Nerdy to Me. Are you guys going to rehearsal today? Oh, it's optional now? I ask. And then I do this thing I picked up from Leah, where you kind of cut your eyes to the side and narrow them. It's more subtle than rolling your eyes. Much more effective. Martin just looks at me. Yeah, we're going, Abby says after a moment. Yeah, Spear, Martin says suddenly. I've been meaning to talk to you. His cheeks have gone pink, and a red blotch unfurls around the collar of his shirt. I've been thinking. I really want to introduce you to my brother. I think you guys have a lot in common. Blood rushes to my face, and I feel that familiar fucking prickle behind my eyes. He's threatening me again. That's so cute, Abby says. She looks back and forth from Martin to me. Oh, it's adorable, I say. I stare Martin down, but he turns away quickly, looking miserable. Seriously? That asshole deserves to feel miserable. Yeah, well, Martin shuffles his feet, still staring at his random point over my shoulder. I'm just going to talk about your sexual orientation now like it's my business, Simon. I'm just gonna tell the whole goddamn school right here, right now, because I'm an asshole, and that's just how it's going to go down. Hey, wait, I say. This is random, but I was just thinking, do you guys want to go to Waffle House tomorrow after school? I could quiz you on your lines. I hate myself. I mean, if you can't... Oh my gosh, seriously, Simon? That would be awesome. Tomorrow after school, right? I actually think I can get my mom's car. Abby smiles and pokes me in the cheek. Yeah, thanks, Simon, Martin says quietly. That would be great. Great, I say. I'm officially doing it. I'm letting Martin Addison blackmail me. I don't even know how I feel. Disgusted with myself. Relieved. You're seriously amazing, Simon, says Abby. I'm not. At all. And it's now Friday night, and I'm on my second plate of hash browns, and Martin won't stop asking Abby questions. I think it's his way of flirting. Do you like waffles? I do like waffles, she says. That's why I got them. Oh, he says. And there's a lot of wild, unnecessary nodding. He's basically a Muppet. They're sitting next to each other. I'm across from them, and we've managed to get the booth back near the bathrooms, where no one really bothers you. It's not all that crowded for a Friday night. There's a pissed-off-looking middle-aged couple in the booth behind us, 2 hipster guys at the counter, and a couple of girls in private school uniforms eating toast. Are you from D.C.? Yes. That's cool. What part? Tacoma Park, she says. You know D.C.? I mean, not really. My brother's a sophomore at Georgetown, Martin says. Martin and his freaking brother. Are you okay, Simon? Asks Abby. Drink some water? I can't stop coughing, and now Martin's offering me his water, pushing it toward me. Martin can freaking bite me. Seriously. Like, he's so calm and collected. He turns back to Abby. So you live with your mom? She nods. What about your dad? He says. He's still in D.C. Oh. I'm sorry. Don't be, Abby says, with a short laugh. If my dad lived in Atlanta, I wouldn't be hanging out with you guys right now. Oh, is he really strict? Asks Martin. Yep, she says, her eyes cut toward me. So do you think we should start Act 2? Martin stretches and yawns in this weird vertical maneuver, and I watch as he attempts to position his arm next to Abby's on the table. Abby pulls her arm away immediately and scratches her shoulder. I mean, it's pretty terrible to watch. Terrible and fascinating. We run through the scene, speaking of disasters. I don't have a speaking part, so I shouldn't judge. And I know they're trying, but we're having to stop every freaking line, and it's getting a little ridiculous. He got took away, Abby says, covering her script with one hand. I nod at her. Got took away in a... She squeezes her eyes shut. In a... Coach? You got it. She opens her eyes, and I see her lips moving silently. Coach, coach, coach. Martin stares into space, grinding his knuckle into his cheek. He has extremely prominent knuckles. Martin has prominent everything. Huge eyes, long nose, full lips. Looking at him is exhausting. Martin. Sorry, my line. Dodger just said he got took away in a coach. A coach? What coach? Where coach? Almost. Never perfect. Always almost. We start the scene over again, and I think it's Friday night, in theory. In theory, I could be out getting drunk. I could be at a concert. I could be at a concert with Blue. But instead, it's Oliver getting taken away in a coach, again and again and again. I'm never going to learn this, Abby says. Don't we have until the end of Christmas break? Martin asks. Yeah, well, Taylor has everything memorized already. Abby and Martin both have huge parts in the play, but Taylor is the lead. As in, the play is Oliver, and Taylor plays Oliver. But Taylor has a photographic memory, Martin says. Allegedly. Abby smiles a little bit. And a very fast metabolism, I add. And a natural tan, says Martin. She never goes out in the sun. She was just born tan. Yeah, Taylor and her tan, says Abby. I'm so jealous. Martin and I both burst out laughing because Abby definitely wins for melanin. So, would it be weird if I ordered another waffle? Asks Martin. It would be weird if you didn't, I say. I don't really understand it. I almost think he's growing on me. End of chapter 13.